Pyrrha is tied for my favorite character with Blake. And this was a Pyrrha Blake episode. So, yeah. Fuck you, Professor Port.
I wonder if you've seen what I wrote in my notes.
Oh, god damn it. Welcome
Blake.
to RWBYcast.
No, nothing about Professor Port. I should have, but my notes are about Blake, on the other hand.
Episode 5, extracurricular. No, I didn't read your fucking notes, because I read them during the thing.
Okay, when we get to scene 3, Brian, you will know. Scene 3.
Let's just go over the comments from the previous episode really quick.
Okay. From YouTube, we had a K-Braid who says Neptune's weapon is actually a Gave and not a Naginata. And yeah, so I don't really see the difference, except that apparently the Naginata has a Tang and a Glaive does not. So
I will say the reason I call it a Nagitama is because of Two Best Friends Play, which is a really obscure reference, so I'm probably never going to correct myself saying it. Sorry.
Yeah, I also looked at my notes and I spelled Naginata wrong when I was typing it, so I forgot to add an A, so it was like Naginata, but it's Naginata. So.
Remember when we took 1 year Japanese?
Yes.
And then we failed the second year?
The thing is that for some reason I was thinking of that Naginata was a Chinese weapon.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I was like, because like the way I spelled it in my previous notes was wrong, like, and it didn't have like the there's always a vowel and a consonant kind of thing. So I thought it was, for some reason I just assumed it was Chinese. That's actually like, because I was thinking of like Guan Yu from Dynasty Warriors and whatnot.
What even is that?
Never mind. If you play video games, you would know. So yeah, I don't really see a difference. They say they're like super similar, but Wikipedia says like a Glaive and a Naginata is super similar. I don't really see a difference. So it's a Glaive.
Yeah,
apparently.
It's a spear.
Yeah.
All right. So
and
oh yeah.
Brian Smith said mechs were gotten like super early, so there's like no finishing touches. So I looked at these comments like 2 weeks ago, so I don't remember.
Yeah, same here. If the mechs were gotten super early, then that we still could have been stolen off of the production line.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe the prototypes. Hell, we don't know.
Yeah. So.
Also, I forget who said it, but yeah, I know nothing about Astro Boy apparently. I
never said I knew anything about Astro Boy.
Joey doesn't. I watched the movie. I don't remember. I watched it on a plane. Let's go. So.
Wait, did we introduce ourselves? Did we have an introduction?
Do we ever Oh, fine. I'm Brian.
I'm Joey.
There we go. I guess we don't. I totally forgot.
Also known as Professor Port fan
Oh
number
my god.
one.
Oh my god, shut up. Like, seriously.
Welcome to the RWBYcast. Extracurricular.
Yeah, episode extracurricular for the 5th episode of Ruby. So,
Volume
that Pyrrha
2.
fight. Holy shit. I've been wanting to see that since Pyrrha was introduced as a character and is introduced as one of the best fighters. I've been wanting to see her, like, just totally straight up kick ass. That was everything I wanted. I watched that fight like 6 times. Yo, that choreography, though. That was awesome.
So, a couple of things didn't really make sense to me. And I actually found out why. So, her semblance. There's a part during that like episode where during that fight where she like jumps into the air. I think it's near the end of the fight, and she jumps off her shield in mid-air, and it propels her forward. I'm like, I don't think that works that way.
No, it does. Shut up.
And I'm like, oh wait, she's using her semblance. So
yeah, there you go. Reverse polarity.
So my thought was, can she fly? That seems like something that could happen.
Yeah, she could just straight up be Magneto. It'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm also in a new room, so I'm like talking very quietly, just so I don't echo.
All right. So the fact that her weapon has 3 forms, compared to everyone else whose weapon has 2 forms, and the fact that she also has a shield that she can use for offense and defense, makes her actual fighting style very interesting to watch, because she essentially switches stances every 2 seconds, which was the coolest part about that.
You said 3 forms?
Yeah, she's got the spear, the gun, and the sword.
I think we should also add dagger to that.
A dagger, okay.
Because it during that one thing, she holds it into in an ice pick form.
Yeah.
So I don't really see that as being a sword style.
But and then she can Captain America with her fucking shield,
which is her semblance.
Yeah, but oh my god, that's so fucking awesome. I want ever since we saw the opening with Cardin's team fighting her, I thought that was just a thing.
Yeah.
But no, that was actually a real scene, which makes me think that a bunch of other stuff from the opening will eventually happen.
Yes.
So why then is every student from Beacon falling from space?
Yeah, there's some things that will probably happen and some things that probably won't happen.
No, I think everyone's falling from space.
So what you're saying is they all get into one of General Ironwood's airships, and then they have a big fight on the airship, and then they all fall from the sky. The airship blows up, and then they all fall.
And then fight more. Yo, oh my god, big scale fight scene would be so awesome.
Yeah, and then...
Okay,
and
do
then,
you think... sorry, go on.
Well, and then another thing that happened was, after I'm oh yeah, that happened in the opening. There's the Mercury versus Pyrrha. I honestly thought Mercury was going to choose Yang, because that's also an opening.
I thought that too, but apparently wasn't this scene shown? I don't think you saw it, but this specific scene was shown during a stream. I had a friend tell me that happened. I think it was for the. It was the Laser Team stream.
Yeah, I missed parts of that. So, actually, I don't think I watched that.
Yeah, I think it was the scene with Pyrrha fighting Mercury, but I don't know how in depth it went.
Yeah.
Wait, do you think Mercury could take Pyrrha in a real fight?
Mercury versus Pyrrha?
In a real fight.
In a real fight? It kind of comes down to her semblance, I think, because her semblance is we also learned that she has to actually physically touch, the metal to actually.
But does she really? Because the soda can thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because I don't really see a reason why she during that fight she threw up her swords dagger kind of thing, and then she blocked with her hand, and it was
it's for style.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like an efficient way to use her weapon. So, I'm looking at this from an efficiency standpoint, where she's not she could easily go on a Counter-Strike, but she didn't really do that.
Maybe she needed to touch his boot to figure out what metal it was.
Maybe, yeah, it could be that, but at the same time, I think she has to touch the metal to actually sort of use polarity on it.
Okay.
The soda can thing, I think I would see more as just a wacky thing.
Yeah, but maybe she touched one soda can and then she understood the composition of it and can just mess with it.
I don't know.
Yeah, again, not a lot of information there. I think that Pyrrha could take Mercury in a fight, especially now that she has touched his boot and can probably just throw him across the room.
Yeah, I'm arguing that how long, for you, she understands the composition now. For me, it's more she touched it and now she has she has control over it for a certain amount of now can she control it at any time when she sees it or she senses it or whatever, or is it a time thing?
If it's that time thing, then the time thing must go pretty long because she did it on Jaune's sword.
Yeah. Or his shield. No, his shield.
or yeah, his shield, and it had been a while since they even talked in that show because Jaune was actually avoiding Pyrrha during that set of time, so it would actually have to be rather like if it's your theory and it's time based, then it's gonna have to be a pretty damn long time.
Yeah, or it's like it's an infinite time thing.
Okay.
So, I like now that she's like touched it. I guess if it just comes down to like she's already touched it, she can use her semblance on his boots and stuff. Like, I think like she won't want it to be found out because that's one of the big things is she doesn't want people to know that she has it. Like at least her enemies have it. That she has it. So I guess she would still win. I would think. Yeah.
So Blake is going crazy.
Well, I also wanted to say the Mercury is also gathering information, which we pretty much saw.
Yeah, we'll get into that at the end. Yeah, yeah. Blake's going insane, and she's constantly looking at her notebook.
I didn't really see the notebook as much.
Well, she was looking at her notebook during the fight, and then fell asleep.
Mm.
And I think it was the same color as the notebook we saw in episode 1. So it's the notebook with the drawing of Adam in it.
Mm.
So if that is the case, then she's probably doing one of those crazy connect the dots type thing.
Which reinforces my crazy theory from last week or 2 weeks ago, which was Adam is the leader of the White Fang. I don't have any crazy theories this week, so I'm going to bring up previous ones. Yeah, that's... Blake also looks like shit, so...
Yeah, nice new texture under her eyes.
Yeah, something that like didn't really make sense to me. Like in the first scene when she's like watching the fights and stuff, she looks fine, and then when she like steps outside, looks like shit. Then you go into the bedroom, she looks like shit, and that's pretty much the last time we saw her in this episode. So, yeah.
Do you think she'll actually calm down? Okay, so there's two options here. She's going to calm down or she's going to blow up. What do you think is actually going to happen?
I don't really see Blake as someone who blows up a lot, even though she previously has, like in this episode. But I don't see it as being like this huge thing. More of like a simmering rage kind of thing.
Do you think she's so obsessed with this because of Adam?
Maybe.
I think that actually would explain a lot of things, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I got nothing.
Because she's so, like, it feels like she has a personal stake in this. And I guess she does because this used to be the organization she was part of. But when she left, she seemed to, like, totally sever ties with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it would make sense of why she's so obsessed with an organization she already left is because of Adam.
Yeah, I guess. There's not really a lot for me to talk about this episode. So, I'm also kind of low energy right now.
Yeah.
Jaune?
That was amazing!
I lied!
That was exactly what a Jaune, like, like, how Jaune should have asked out Weiss.
Yeah.
God damn, that was so stupid. Also, now Ken and Jaune can play the guitar.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was funny. We also learned that Jaune has improved in terms of swordplay, and he's completely clueless, and Pyrrha is jealous.
Yeah, so I felt really bad during that part. Because it wasn't really canon that Pyrrha liked Jaune romantically. Like, before this, you could have just chalked it up to teammates and just being a nice person. But this was actually the first time that you saw that Pyrrha actually liked Jaune. So that whole entire section, I'm like, oh, this is making me feel really bad. This is making me feel even worse because she's getting even sadder. So I think Pyrrha might suffer from the whole entire, she's so good that nobody actually asks her out.
She's like this untouchable person.
Yeah.
Even though she's like more personal than the Ice Queen.
So I think, like, I don't know, because it's hard to tell in anime shows like this, but I assume that in that world, Pyrrha is considered a beautiful person.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, she has name recognition. And on top of that, she's a celebrity. And on top of that, she's the quote-unquote strongest person from that academy. So, yeah, the untouchable status is definitely there.
Yeah,
so I think it's not of Jaune not noticing her feelings. It's more of Jaune going, oh, Pyrrha can't possibly like me like that. And that's why he doesn't actually enter his mind. Classic shoujo manga.
Yeah.
That I know you don't read.
Yeah, I those words did not make sense to me. Anyway, then we go to Cinder, which is a final scene.
Do you think she's sewing a weapon?
I think she's sewing something. So there's like...
So I totally missed that part where they were talking and it shows that she's sewing. And they don't really show her hand with the needle until the final scene. So for some reason my head went to, during that she was petting a cat? Because you just see her hand moving rhythmically left to right. And so I'm like, oh, she's petting a cat or something. And she's evil, I guess
I instantly recognized she was sewing something, so...
And then she holds up a needle. So I instantly went to, oh shit, what the fuck has she been doing to that cat? And then I rewatched the scene and I'm like, oh, she's sewing. Oh, I'm stupid.
Mm-hmm. So...
And that also reinforces the whole fact that she sewed dust into her clothing.
Yeah, we're going to get into that a little later as well. So, there's the list. So, I'm guessing the list is just basically a list of like strong individuals who they're going to take out at some point. Like a hit list. It's a hit list, basically.
Yes, that makes sense. Weird thing though, the little app that I'm blanking out her name, Emerald, was using to put Pyrrha's profile on, whatever it was. That was the same picture on the little tablet that Glinda was holding.
Yeah,
it was a weird thing I noticed.
Yeah, I saw that too. That symbol is pretty much on everything.
But it's not a symbol though; it serves a purpose because she pressed one of those circles on the symbol. Was where they put like Pyrrha's profile.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if that's just something they overlooked, or that's just a person profiling app that everyone has installed in their phones.
Yeah,
I don't want people thinking that Glinda's evil, because please stop.
There is a theory that Ironwood is evil, so...
that's more plausible. I would say
I saw the theory. It was based on the song Die. The rough song of Die.
Oh, yeah, I heard that too. I didn't really actually pay attention to the lyrics, though. I was just like, oh, this song's great.
Yeah, the song's great. I'm like, I'm not going to read into it. And I see a theory, and I'm like, I'm not going to really care about it.
And yeah, the needle thing. That was creepy. They're going to shoot, Pyrrha with a giant needle or something?
That's something I was thinking of. There's either there's a theory that I'm guessing if you said she had to touch Mercury's boots to sort of sense the metal, I guess.
Yeah. Or
sense the composition of the metal. So I'm guessing, can she sense all metal around her? If that is the case, I guess a needle won't be able to be of any use for a surprise attack, unless
or they show her it's a needle, then shoot her with the needle, but the needle's actually not made of metal, and she tries to stop it with polarity.
I was about to say that.
It's like the wooden gun with Magneto.
Yeah. Or you mean the plastic gun?
Oh no, there's an X-Men comic where Magneto tries to move a gun, and then he doesn't know it's wood, and then he goes into a mental breakdown because he can't move the gun.
Never saw that. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, because I don't really have anything else to say.
Yeah. So this episode sets up I guess the next couple of days in that world, which will be the dance, the prep for the dance, the actual dance, and then the mission that starts the next day.
Oh, we also found out that there's 12 chapters and 4 like World of Remnant stuff.
Yeah. I forgot about that. It was confirmed there's 12 episodes of RWBY. It was weird though. I noticed that they said that Coffee was on a mission.
Yeah.
But then they said your first mission starts on Monday. So is Coffee special?
I don't know. It could be.
Coffee could be special, or
isn't Coffee like majority Faunas?
I don't know. I actually never took the time to look at the rest of
Velvet.
Velvet's team, yeah, because I just wanted to see them when they're actually introduced.
Yeah. We also saw Sage and Scarlet for the first time during this episode. We didn't talk, but
I'm really curious on what possible gods those two could be based off of, because they got to be gods.
Yeah, it's Sage is like Earth-based. I got nothing.
I hope there's a really, really deep pull to like some Scandinavian god that no one like has commonly ever heard of. And people go crazy with research. Like, wasn't it Cardin? Like, people spent like weeks trying to figure out who the fuck Cardin was based off of. Yeah,
and he's based off like the Cardinal something, who like is something with the Jeanne of Arc.
Yeah, he was the Cardinal of something that sentenced Joan of Arc to death.
Yes.
So I assume that everyone on Cardin's team is based off of antagonists.
I also want to say that one of those characters looks like Carrie.
Yeah, no. That fucking guy with the gun sword who's kind of yellow, he looks like Carrie crossed with Professor Port.
No.
He's got like Professor Port eyes.
No,
he's got the eyes.
No.
I'm gonna cut your audio from this part.
No.
He looks like he's got like the slant eyes.
Like, well, the thing is that I didn't even see his face because his face was just blank. It looked like.
But yeah, he does remind me of Carrie.
He's like, just reminds me of Carrie. That's all it was. Not Professor Port, just Carrie. So, yeah, it's...
Okay, let's go into Dust.
Let me change my notes.
We totally skipped. I'm just skipping straight.
Yeah, we were going to do this last week, but I was moving into my dorm, and... yeah,
and I was busy practicing for a thing.
Which he will not win.
I'm going to get my ass kicked.
Yeah, you will. So, my notes say this is the first episode of RWBY World of Remnant, which is just,
by the way,
backstory,
this whole concept of like little like history lessons or lessons of their world is really interesting, and I like it. I would rather have it than to not have it. But again, I feel like this is the lazy way of introducing these concepts into the world.
I still like it.
No, I like it. I love it. I would way rather have it than to not have it. But yeah, it's lazy storytelling. Most of like the things you learn, like in, let's say, Harry Potter, for example, most of the things you learn from Harry Potter are explained in the story itself.
Yeah, most of the relevant stuff.
Yeah, but like to have to explain to us how dust works, like in like an extra history episode rather than what it could have easily been explained in the actual show, feels not lazy. I don't feel like they did this because they were lazy. It feels cheaper.
I feel like that it's more of a... I feel like what they told us was like the bare basics. It wasn't like anything deep that they might say in a later episode, but like it's something that like, oh yeah, everyone knows this. Everyone knows this in that world. So like if they talk about it, they're gonna go more in depth than that.
But did they like? What is the new information we actually obtained from this specific thing? That dust, like the most prominent, is that no one knows what the fuck dust is.
Yeah.
Dust can be put into clothing because we already knew about weapons and we already assumed that it could be used internally.
Mm-hmm.
that dust only exists in 4 forms, and by combining those 4 forms, you get different other types of dust. That was actually one of the more interesting things.
I thought that was kind of known already.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't know. I assumed you could just mine any type of element you want.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that electricity is a combination of other elements.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just... Yeah.
And my favorite thing on this is, I think it was on the Ruby subreddit where they posted this video. And one of the comments, halfway down was like, I bet all of you are rewriting your Ruby OCs, aren't you? I don't know, that made me laugh so fucking hard.
Wait, Ruby OCs? Like, people are making their own
characters? The people that make their own characters based in the Ruby universe.
Yeah, that's... I haven't done that yet, because nothing can compare to Professor Port.
Oh, why don't you just make, young Professor Port and draw a comic based off of that? What's the name of your stupid Twitter account again?
I still haven't used it yet, so I'm not gonna
Oh, okay.
plug it.
No one gives a shit.
Also, I can't... I'll never be able to make something as good as Professor Port.
Oh my god, shut up.
So, let's actually talk about the episode, I guess.
Why do you think infusing it in clothing is considered archaic?
I don't know. I mean, it's I guess clothing, back when they first discovered it, I assume they didn't really have a lot of technology, but more clothing. So they ingrained it into their clothes, and that's how they used it. I'm looking at it as archaic means old.
But wouldn't just using it raw be the most archaic way of using it?
I guess, yeah. It's... Well...
I don't think anyone found dust and was like, I'm going to eat this crystal and shoot water out of my hand.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. It's... We don't really... I think the only person who's actually used dust in their bodies was Cinder. Because I think she has tattoos, right?
Are they tattoos?
I'm totally blanking out. This is...
When she used fire for the first time, wasn't her clothing glowing? And the fact that she sews, doesn't that make you think that it comes from her clothing? Maybe supplemented by other stuff too, in her body.
For some reason, I think it was her tattoo that would glow, and then she could use that to augment it.
Does Cinder have a tattoo?
That's the question of the week this week.
Because I never knew about that. I didn't really look at her character model that closely.
Yeah, it's... Yeah. I mean, I don't really know anyone else who would use, infuse it into their bodies.
Possibly Glinda?
I mean, I know she has it in her clothing, but...
She does?
Yeah, she has earrings, she has I think she has a necklace.
Okay.
She has something on her wrist, I think, as well.
Okay, that
bracelet.
makes sense.
So, I also feel like people who infuse it into their bodies, they have it's a very dangerous operation. The dust could go wrong inside them and kill them.
That definitely makes sense. You know what? I found it odd that they never just mentioned dust-infused weapons. Why can't I get a sword and forge it with dust or something? They mentioned ammunition. They mentioned it being put into clothing, but they never actually mentioned it being put into just raw weapons.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be fire could set up it could be temperamental. It could have a low burning point. That's really too scientific for anime.
Maybe possibly dust can really only detonate.
Well, they say in the very beginning, which is energy. It's an energy propellant which can be triggered by aura from humans and faunas. So if they accidentally use aura, it could trigger and the weapon could blow up or something.
Yeah, but I mean at the same time, the human body seems way more dangerous and.
Yeah, I don't know. It probably takes careful. You just need to be careful, I guess.
Yeah, it's just one of those weird things, clothing, human bodies, raw, ammunition, but not in just raw into weapons. I mean, I guess that I guess there could easily be a reason for that. I just found that to be one of the odder things from this.
Mm-hmm. What do you think like the artificial combinations are? Like, how many do you think there are?
Artificial combinations?
Yeah.
Well, I would think that there's every element outside of the original 4. We already saw time. I don't know if that's a glyph or anything, but that could probably be refined into an element.
We know it's a glyph, but we don't know if it's also a dust element.
Yeah. You can just go to every possible cliche, like RPG type element. Darkness, ice. I can't think of any other ones.
Yeah, I can't remember. I played this one game where it was like you take the 4 basic elements like fire, earth, wind, water, and you combine them, and like you eventually get like 100 different elements. No, yeah. It's like you combine fire and water, you get steam. It's just all this other stuff, and I can't remember the name of the game, but it just reminded me of that. Yeah. Also, another thing I have noticed that it can be combined artificially and naturally. So, how do you think it happens naturally? Because, like, I guess.
Dude, I think that's the same way as you finding natural combinations of elements in the Earth, like on our planets.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, do you think? What do you think is stronger, artificial or natural?
Usually, the idea in stories like this goes that natural is more powerful.
Yeah, because if you try to force something, it might lose a little bit of its power, but
synthetic is usually weaker than natural.
Yeah.
But also has a bunch of other benefits of being more stable and being able to be mass produced.
Yeah, so yeah, there's uses. Let's go into uses, I guess. So we have elegant forms, which are, I'm guessing, are people who are like hunters and huntresses. So,
yeah, do you think dust is used? Well, it makes sense that wouldn't dust be used by the common everyday folks that aren't like.
Yeah, but I feel like that would be more infused with like technology. Like they'd use the technology, and they'd probably have like a battery, which is dust. So.
Yeah, otherwise that old man's store would make no sense.
Yeah. So, like, as I was saying, there's elegant forms, there's dust ammunition, and there's archaic. Elegant forms, I would see as, like, hunters and huntresses using it in, like, their natural elements, I guess, like the fire, the ice, the water.
It also feels like older huntresses and hunters would use that. Mm-hmm. It seems like an old generation skill.
Yeah. Wait, did you say all or old?
Oh, sorry, old generation skill.
So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it just seems like people with more experience, the older people, will use it more like the elegant form, I guess.
Yeah, because if you look at all the students now, they all use ammunition.
Yeah, like Weiss is one of the big ones. She has cartridges in her rapier, which is just basically dust ammunition, it looks like. And dust ammunition needs no power, or no discipline. And the elegant forms require discipline and like learning and studying. Yeah.
So you would argue that Weiss isn't a proper mage then?
Yeah, she's in school to learn how to like use dust more effectively, I think.
Wasn't it confirmed that Velvet was a proper mage?
I don't remember. I don't remember a lot about Velvet. Other than she has bunny ears, she barely spoke anything during the first season.
I'm not sure if this was a fan theory or not, but I think, at least from what I read at the time, that it was confirmed that she is a mage, so she might be one of the few students that actually use archaic forms of dust. Oh, actually, no, this makes sense now. Why Team Coffee was on their own mission. They just might be older students.
It could be, yeah.
Since age is not like the age is not level across all the students. It's whatever age you can pass the test is when you're allowed into the academy. So they could just be like second years.
Yeah, that actually makes more sense now. I was going off the theory that they're all faunas and they're all being used to like infiltrate the White Fang.
I thought you had no crazy theories this episode.
Well, like that was actually a crazy theory. I just didn't think of that much. I just thought of that just now. Well, no, it was the more mission thing, but I don't know.
Okay, so now I want the crazy enemy that is infused with dust, wears dust clothing, and has a dust like cartridge-based weapon while wielding it in his hand. Also,
I'm just picturing it in my head. He also his dust infused ammunition weapon is the gun as well.
Oh my god, the gun.
That's
like crazy. Isn't that like legendary now? Like,
yeah.
Are we all waiting for the gun?
Come on, Patrick. Come on, just do it.
Like, my idea, it's a gun that shoots guns that shoot, but a lot of other people think it's a gun that just turns into other guns.
Which is like Pandora's box from Devil May Cry.
Okay, Devil May Cry. All right, so are we done talking about dust?
I mean, we have the dust ammunition, voice, archaic use was infusing into clothes and bodies, and yeah, it's pretty much done. I think at this point.
Okay.
The only thing else I can probably speak about is the awesomeness of Jen Taylor narration.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
I was like, oh my god, Cortana! Oh my god, yes.
They brought back the whole storybook style. Also, that was one of the first things I noticed about that whole thing. It's like we haven't seen that type of narration since the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we see that in the main series again at some point. I don't know if they're telling about some legend or something, and we get Jen Taylor back to narrate the storybook style.
Yeah, that'd be good. So,
all right, question of the week: what in the next World of Remnant? I'm assuming these are all called World of Remnant.
Yeah.
What would you like to see the next thing explained in the RWBY universe? And I think you will agree with me, really want to know what the fuck a semblance is.
Yes, I would like that very much.
What we've learned so far is it's aura-based. You don't know what it is, so I guess it's through self-discovery you figure out your aura. I still don't know if it's genetic. Like, does everyone in Wise's family have glyphs?
No one really knows, but we know that there are some similarities, like Sun Wukong's and Blake's, who both use clones. But yeah,
I hope if they do that, they talk about a legendary man who had like a stupid broken semblance and how he defeated an army with it. Because you gotta agree with me, semblances at some points are stupid broken.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure if Ren's shield he used to block that strike from a snake. I'm not sure if that was a semblance or just straight aura.
Because it's just straight aura.
They were talking about it at that point. It was confirmed it's just straight aura.
Yeah, it's straight aura. I think that was one of the things that they explained like right away about aura was like you can use it to like sense attacks and deflect attacks.
Okay, if it's a straight shield, because then I'm like, wow, it's broken that Ren's semblance is a shield and fucking Pyrrha's Magneto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just it just looks funny. It's yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so what do you want the next World of Remnant to be? Really hope it's semblance. Definitely has to happen.
Also, I actually want to take that one step further. And what do you think? There's going to be 4 World Remnants. We've already dealt with one, which is Dust. What do you think the next 3 are going to be?
I feel like they actually have to talk about the world as itself. So maybe give us a brief history on the 4 continents. I
feel like it's going to be semblances, the continents, I guess is what you could say,
and the moon.
No, hopefully, but no.
Yeah,
and
if the moon is connected to the story in any way, then I want it to be explained in the story. If the moon is just there to look cool, then please explain it in a World of Remnants.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe the last one, as like things are kind of kicking off, is like the human faunus war, or like something about faunas. Yeah,
that would be interesting too. And I think that speaks to the whole world of Remnant a little bit better. What was that one point I want to talk about? I'm blanking. Oh yeah, now that we understand that probably the next 4 episodes is God damn, I'm totally blanking. The next 4 episodes are probably based off the dance. And then right after that is the mission. Do you think we're actually going to get to the attack on Vale in the season now?
I don't think it's going to be the entire attack on Vale, but I think they're going to. It's either going to be something that's the last 2 episodes. They're just going to start it, and then they're going to. Yeah, I just don't think they're going to finish it. So
okay, I hope they don't end up a cliffhanger though.
They will. I think they will.
They will. Rooster Teeth is not really known for hanging on cliffhangers.
They're definitely known for hanging on cliffhangers.
What? When? Okay, except for the last season of Red vs. Blue.
Every season of Red vs. Blue.
Not really.
Well, like every individual episode.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll give you that. But they're not known for leaving seasons on cliffhangers. Or are they? I'm being dumb. I'm probably wrong.
They kind of did for I think episode 8, the season 8, which is when Church goes into the thing, and it seems like it's going to be the end of the season, even though they said they're going to continue to make episodes. It just seems like that would be a perfect way to end it. But it's how are you going to continue this? I don't know. So is that it?
I hope that I am right about this because I don't want to wait a year for a fucking cliffhanger on RWBY. All right, so yeah, that's the end of the episodes. We have to record something after this, yeah. All right, so see you guys next week.
Yeah, see ya. Professor Port rules. Bye.
Oh God, shut.